The King and Queen recognize humanitarian efforts across the globe at Buckingham Palace. The King and Queen, joined by the Princess Royal and the Duke and Duchess of Gloucester, have welcomed exceptional individuals and organizations contributing towards humanitarian efforts across the globe. The King at a humanitarian reception at Buckingham Palace. The reception also marked the anniversaries of 4 global charities, international health partners, which His Majesty has been patron of since 2004, ShelterBox, which Her Majesty has supported since 2007, Islamic Relief and Christian Aid. The King at a humanitarian reception. The Queen at a humanitarian reception. During the reception, Their Majesties and guests had an opportunity to view displays on the work of the 4 humanitarian organizations, as well as see stories from volunteers who work with the organizations. The Princess Royal at a humanitarian reception at Buckingham Palace. The Duke and Duchess of Gloucester at a humanitarian reception. The King and Queen also saw a collection of images from the Disasters Emergency Committee sent to the King for World Humanitarian Day in August 2024. These 15 images, one from each of DEC's member charities, cover work from DEC's recent appeals: Afghanistan, Ukraine, Pakistan and Turkey-Syria, as well as Sudan and Gaza, where the DEC is closely monitoring the situation. The King at a humanitarian reception at Buckingham Palace. International Health Partners celebrating 20 years of impact. International Health Partners is a global health NGO that helps people in disaster-hit and vulnerable communities access the medicines they need. An estimated 2 billion people are denied essential medicines globally, and IHP are working to change this, striving for a world where suffering due to a lack of healthcare is eradicated. Working with a strong network of X at Royal Family Instagram at Their Family YouTube, the Royal Channel page 2 of 4 global healthcare, NGO and logistics partners, IHP source, pack and send shipments of medical products to help vulnerable people around the world. The King at a humanitarian reception at Buckingham Palace. ShelterBox. Founded in 2000, ShelterBox is an international disaster charity that provides emergency shelter and other essential household items including tents, tarpaulins, water filters and blankets to families around the world who have lost their homes to disaster, conflict and climate crises. More than 3 million people have been supported by charity since it was formed 25 years ago. This works out at more than 300 people every day. As Duchess of Cornwall, the Queen became president of ShelterBox in 2007 before becoming patron in 2021. The Queen at a humanitarian reception. Islamic Relief. Islamic Relief is an independent humanitarian and development organization which has been serving vulnerable communities across the globe since 1984. Founded in Birmingham, Islamic Relief has grown into one of the world's largest faith-inspired charities, with offices delivering programs that support vulnerable people in over 40 countries worldwide. In 2024, the charity reached over 17 million people across the globe. Christian Aid partners with communities and organizations across the world to support people of every faith and none at all by tackling the root causes of poverty and responding to humanitarian emergencies. The King at a humanitarian reception at Buckingham Palace. As the official development agency of 41 sponsoring churches in Britain and Ireland, Christian Aid's work began in 1945 in response to the refugee crisis caused by the Second World War, and it has responded to major emergencies around the world ever since. Humanitarian medals. Earlier in the week, the King awarded the first ever humanitarian medals at Buckingham Palace. The medal, first announced in January 2025, were awarded to those in public service and members of humanitarian organizations, such as charities, who respond in support of human welfare during or in the aftermath of a crisis. This includes providing disaster relief or aid provision in hazardous circumstances such as conflict zones.